What's going on with my hair? Looks like crap. Huh. That'll do. What's up, everyone? My name's Adam McDormand, and this is Medium Quality. It's time to reach into the depths of my new arrivals bin and do a vinyl record haul. And I'm super excited because I think I've got some really cool stuff to show you guys this time. As always, I will put links to the Discogs.com entries for each of these in the description section below. And with that, let's jump into it. Okay, I want to kick things off with a pair of albums actually by garage psych band The OCs. These are their two albums from 2016, A Weird Exits and An Odd Entrances. Prior to these albums being released, The OCs really weren't on my radar. I kind of thought of them as a more fast-paced, kind of punk-influenced side of the garage psych spectrum. I had just spent the last 6 months trying to find the end of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's endlessly repeating Nonagon Infinity, only to realize that it actually never ends. And I was totally down to listen to yet another sort of ambitious album concept. So the idea of a pair of companion albums seemed very attractive. These albums revealed a side of the OCs that I didn't realize existed. This whole crop of songs is a lot more slow-paced, it's a lot more spacious. You start to see the more progressive and krautrock influences in the band, and that was totally right up my alley, and I greatly enjoyed these songs. Don't get me wrong, the signature 3-minute sonic bomb with a punch in the jaw at the end is totally present on this album, and that is very much the OCs sound, and it's here. But they don't dominate the albums. And as a result, I think it's a lot more well-paced. Though sitting through all 14 songs across 2 albums is a bit much for a casual listen. The main album in this package, A Weird Exits, is a double LP with some fantastic green, murky, kind of psychedelic artwork. Love this, with a abstracted image of a concert here on the gatefold. Really fantastic package. Pressed on a pair of 45 RPM vinyls on what they refer to as murky web colored vinyl. Absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of an opaque, almost olive green with this creamy, speckled white splatter in the middle of it. The companion album in this package, An Odd Entrances, has a similar color scheme to the artwork, but it's obviously much simpler. And this is pressed to a single 45 RPM record on this really cool kind of cloudy Coke bottle green vinyl. Really great pressing on this as well. Something that I discovered when I was listening to this album again in preparation for this video is that there's actually some extra music included in this package. I found inside this yellow flexi disc single of Classic Bananas. Now, if you've never seen a flexi disc before, it's basically just a piece of plastic with music pressed into it. Really novel thing. Not something I'll listen to a ton, even though the song's really good. But it's still very cool that they included this in the package. These 2 albums are definitely a great place to start with the OCs if you're not very familiar with their music, because of the fact that this crop of songs is really diverse and is not as punishing as what I perceive a lot of their other stuff to be. Highly recommended. Next up, one of my favorite albums from 2016, Handmade Cities by Plini. Plini is an instrumental metal guitarist from Australia and a fantastic musician. This album is one that I loved so much that it made my list of my favorite albums from 2016, and it finally got pressed to vinyl this year, and so I had to snag a copy and was lucky enough to do so, given that this was a limited pressing of I think 500, sold out fairly quickly, but I did manage to snag a copy. Cool thing about this is that the pressing itself is absolutely gorgeous. It's on this amazing orange with kind of a lighter splattering in the middle there. Unfortunately, my copy took a little bit of a beating, if you can see that in the shipping process. Sad times, but it's better than not having it, I guess. Next up, Star Stuff by Chaz Bundick meets the Mattson 2. Chaz Bundick is a name that should sound familiar to you if you're into chillwave. He is the man behind Toro y Moi. And this is a very different sounding record than that. This is more psychedelic, a little less synthy, if you will, but still a high quality album. The vinyl pressing here is, as you might have guessed, not standard black. It is on clear vinyl. I am such a sucker for anything that's not on regular black vinyl, and I was really pumped to snag a copy of this because I didn't realize that Chaz Bundick had a side project, nor did I realize just how good it was, and this was quite a pleasant surprise. So if you're into Toro y Moi and you like, you like his most recent live album that actually featured the Mattson 2 in his live band, if you enjoyed that, you should definitely check this out. It is quality stuff. Next up, Galaxy Force 2 and Thunderblade soundtrack. This is the 10th release from Data Discs, who are the purveyors of some of the finest video game vinyl soundtracks on the market. The music on this album comes from actually a pair of arcade games that I've never played. In fact, I was not even planning on picking this up until I heard a couple of samples from this press and was blown away at how cool these songs are. I had to snag a copy of it. I'm definitely a huge sucker for video game music in general, but I think these two games come from a very interesting period in music for video games where developers would mix FM synthesis, chiptune sounds with live instrument samples. And so both of these have a lot of really cool slap bass samples that just give the game a really punchy, upbeat kind of sound. And the songs on here are composed so interestingly, and there's just such fun to listen to that I had to pick this up, in spite of the fact that, like I said, I've never played either of these two games. Data Discs released 3 different colored versions of this. One of the presses is on standard black vinyl, one of them's on clear with yellow splatter, but I managed to snag the neon yellow press that just looks absolutely fantastic on the old turntable. But as with anything that Data Discs puts out, the quality of this press is absolutely superb. I can definitely highly recommend anything that this record label puts out, but this particular pair of soundtracks on this record are absolutely fantastic. If you happen to see this somewhere by chance, you should definitely snatch it up because it's really good. I want to end this vinyl record haul with a new segment that I'd like to call Records from My Father-in-Law. My wife's dad has a real eye for value, and sometimes he'll find records for $1 or $2 and just pick them up, and then he'll let me have them if I want them, which I have absolutely no complaints about. And every now and then he finds a gem like this one, Thriller by Michael Jackson. I don't actually have any other Michael Jackson albums, so when I saw this, I thought, wow, this is actually a great album. I bet it's beat to crap. The music is so good that these get played a lot, which means they wear out, and if you're finding a used copy for a couple bucks, it's probably going to be trash. But this one's not. It's really difficult for me to listen to this album without dancing because almost every single track on this thing is a booty shaker. With some of my favorite songs like Thriller and Human Nature and Billie Jean and Pretty Young Thing. Just a legendary pop album. Now all I need is a copy of Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. Brian, I know you're holding out on me. I know you got some Michael Jackson stashed away. That's all I have for you guys this time. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And hey, while you're at it, in the comments section below, please let me know if you like any of these albums, if you've heard them, if you think they're trash and want to disagree with me about their belonging on the old record shelf. And until next time, what a time to be alive.